What's up, and welcome to episode 51 of Brewing Through the Multiverse. We're a Magic the Gathering podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm Joel.
And I'm Troy.
and I don't think any of us have any beer to crack today.
Drinking tea today.
I am also
tea.
drinking tea.
January
What do you-
5th, so we're all on the sober kick for the new year for now. I think,
That's
right?
it. I will say, though, I'm drinking an organic turmeric ginger green tea with a splash of organic light agave. So,
Wow.
What
I'm
the
on,
fuck, bro?
I'm on the honey chamomile.
All
So,
right, there you
cheers.
I got some coffee like a man, but
go. Fucking drinking it black over there, Jesus! In your murder show.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do have some cinnamon roll creamer in there, so I don't know how manly it actually is.
There it is. All right.
I mean, I like my coffee like I like my women, light and sweet.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't do black coffee. It just I wanted like whiskey. I need flavored whiskey. I can't just drink straight whiskey. I need that flavor.
Don't admit that, man.
It's true. It tastes like poison otherwise.
This is wrong.
I go for the most poison tasting one.
Yeah. That's only
The
when my
smoky
heart
one.
hurts. That's
Right,
when I
right.
want the poison.
Yeah.
Like the country music says.
For sure.
Anyway, we're a Magic the Gathering podcast. You guys play any Magic this week? How'd it go?
Did we play any Magic? I don't know. Did we, man? I think we went to Standard and fucking grinded it out yesterday.
Some paper
That's pretty sick.
standard.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, some paper standard happened for us. We did it. How do you think you did? How did your deck do? What'd you play against? Tell us about standard in the paper life.
No, man, it was awesome. So I'm doing the Orzhov life drain thing, and I did it all right. I won one match and then lost my other two. The two that I lost were against two of the same players that I had played at the shop the previous time that I went to go play Standard. And the match that I won, I know you saw, Mike. I was playing against John, the shop owner, and the first game went on for like 40 minutes, which
Nice.
was fun, but I was missing some of my Starscape cleric triggers, so the game should have ended like 2 or 3 turns earlier because I had him down to 2 life, and I only had my like Starscape bat out. And
yes, so I was watching this happen, and
Yeah.
so John also was missing. He had the Blue Curiosity out, and he was hitting you with 3 creatures a turn, and he kept on forgetting to draw his cards.
Sure. Yeah.
As a bystander in an event like this, I didn't know how to handle that, but that's not a May, so I was like, John, you're supposed to draw cards. And then I realized that you weren't taking the damage. I mean, that you weren't selling the damage, and the game would have ended 2 turns prior if that had
Right.
been noticed. And at that point, I didn't know if I was allowed to say anything or how to handle that. So that was an interesting scenario for me where I noticed you should have won 2 turns ago, and I'm just a bystander. What am I supposed to say? So that was a wild thing, but so many triggers. Oh, also, before we actually handle that, because Joel, I'm curious to what you think should happen in a scenario like that. But the other fucking thing I already forgot. I'm not even drinking beer. I'm drinking tea. So let's hit that first, Joel. You realize that someone is supposed to have lost already. You're just watching. How do you handle that? Are you supposed to say something?
I mean, I think technically you're supposed to talk to a judge.
Right, which
But
is what
I don't
John
think
said
you're-
as well.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed as a bystander to point anything out to the actual players, because that could be an issue for you. And this is by like the competitive rules.
Which is what it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a Friday Night Magic. It was actually an event. So when I had spoken up, that's why I didn't speak up the next time. I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say shit. But as a commander player, once I dive on commander and I'm watching the board, I'll always just kind of help triggers along. So it was a weird scenario for me where I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
So actually, here's the relevant ruling. Any persons physically present at a tournament and not in any other category above as a spectator, they are responsible for remaining silent and passive during matches and other official tournament sections. Spectators believe they observed a rules or policy violation. They are encouraged to alert a judge as soon as possible. Regular competitive rules level enforcement. Spectators are permitted to ask the players to pause the match while they alert a judge. At professional rules level enforcement, spectators who are not members of the official coverage team must not interfere with the match directly.
All right, so I
So, yeah,
gotta
just find a
I
judge
just gotta
and be like,
watch
"Yo,
and
they're missing all these triggers."
but also I don't have to go get the judge either, because like it's saying that
Yeah,
as
you're
just
not.
a bystander, like I'm not okay.
Yeah, you're not legally obligated to go tell somebody.
Right.
Okay.
But, of course, yesterday, everybody handled it gracefully. As you said, you had pointed out a trigger for both of us that we were missing. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
point is mute anyway. But
Which it's trying to dust off the old, single competitive Magic, cobwebs, because
Right,
I'm just used to Commander where we're just chilling and talking.
Yeah.
right.
by the
But,
way,
John's real struggle anyway was that even though he had that curiosity out both games, he kept drawing lands. He said he was playing 21 lands, and he still kept just seeing his lands.
Dude, yeah. Because when the curiosity triggers would happen and he was drawing the 3 or 4, it was 4 lands,
Right.
Wild. That was a bad hand.
That's how it goes sometimes, though.
Yeah.
We've all had that. We've all had that draw.
Yeah. But the other thing I was going to say too is when you had your 2 Leyline of Hopes out and the 3 Authority of Consuls, every time John played a creature, it would come in tapped, and Troy would get 3 authority triggers, which would also get the +2. So it would be 3, 6, 9 life every creature that came in his opponent's, which would have triggered 3 separate Star Cleric triggers. And that's what we were missing during that. But like just the fact that 9 life was being gained every creature that entered against them was too much.
And that was super relevant in my next match as well. Against James, who's playing the Azorius thing with the Oculuses. So on each of my upkeeps, he was manifesting Dread, and I had Authority of Consuls out, and maybe a Leyline as well. So automatically, when he was getting those Manifest Dread triggers, I was gaining life there. And he kind of said himself, he had put down 3 at one point, and he was like, maybe that was a mistake. to have all these out, automatically dropping 3 creatures each upkeep. So.
Yeah, just a tough matchup.
But he still beat me both games anyway. So
what did it come down to? What did you not have, or was there answers to the Oculus?
What it really comes down to is probably the fact that James is just a good player and he's playing blue, so he's countering some of my stuff and things as well. He had the Haughty Djinns out, and he's milling cards, putting instant sorceries into the graveyard. And so for my second game, sideboarded in 3 resting pieces and saw none of them. So also, if I had gotten one of those out game 2, maybe it would have been a different story as well.
Question for both of you, and maybe it's more relevant to Mike than you, Troy, but I know that a lot of best of 1 gets played. Do you guys feel like mostly playing best of 1 has affected your sideboarding, like leaving you unprepared for sideboarding, or did you feel that you're confident with your sideboarding options?
So I was not ready. I joked last time how I wasn't bringing it, and I did. I brought 4 Duresses, Thrill of Possibilities, nothing to handle anything. The only tech that I had in my sideboard was actually what Troy recommended. He said run the Ghost Vacuums for Graveyard, which I didn't even realize how good those cards are. So I was not ready. I was completely ill prepared, and this morning for this, I made a new sideboard set up, and I did my normal bullshit of these are 15 cards that are going to go in to change the whole deck. I'm for my sideboard, I'm just changing my whole deck to a different deck with 15 card swap out, and that's how I'm going to.
That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy as well. I've thought about that too. I've been getting a lot more in tune with the metagame, I would say, and at the shop as well. So knowing kind of what other decks are out there, and then knowing what hate pieces you can put in that are gonna hopefully shut them down. So the rest in pieces for sure. I'm not usually main decking a board wipe, but so I'll have my my Sunfalls in the sideboard too. Let's see. What else? Got the one card really want to talk about that I'm seeing a lot out there is Nowhere to Run. Have you guys seen this? It's
which card is this?
It's a 1 and a black enchantment. It has flash. It's from Duskborn. When Nowhere to Run enters, target creature and opponent control gets -3/-3 until end of turn. And then creatures your opponents control can be the targets of spells and abilities as though they didn't have hexproof. And ward abilities of those creatures don't trigger. So really good to sideboard in if you're seeing the Sheltered by Ghosts. Other things that have ward, hexproof. What are some of the popular things out there?
I mean, your Elenda Dusk Rose has hexproof.
Right, right.
Hexproof
So that's
an instance, so that holds
right.
that.
John played this against me to get rid of my Elenda as well. So
yeah, and also they played this against me to get rid of my disguise because my disguise creatures have ward too. So normally I'm protected from early removal, and I play my disguise, and next turn he just for 2 mana gets rid of it, which that fucked me up as well. So yeah, this card honestly, this is something I'm gonna start running myself.
Yeah, I have some extra copies if you guys want.
Nice. I'm literally looking through my uncommons right now, looking for some.
Yeah, no, got them if you guys need them. So now in my third match against Nathan, he was running that in the sideboard as well. Really want to talk about this deck because I think it is kind of a tier 2 deck right now, but is probably going to be something that's on its way up. So it was an Esper deck built around Optimistic Scavenger in particular.
Nice.
Optimistic Scavengers from Duskborn as well. That set is just the uncommons in there are
bonkers.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 1 white, just single white pip, human scout, uncommon, and then it has Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I would say this is that type of card that does way more than you think it's going to do.
Yeah,
because it's so small, it just comes down as a 1/1, but all of a sudden it's going off.
Especially if you're putting the ghosts on it also, because it's pumping it and it's got the ward now.
Yes, the Sheltered by Ghosts for sure.
Yeah. There's a flash enchantment that gives hexproof. Do you know what that one's called? Because that's also something that has protected this that messes me up.
Shard Mages something or another. It's the one single white pip, one that's got like a rat on it, I think, right?
It is. It's a 1 mana. Yeah, it's like a 1 mana quick guy.
Is that it?
I'm trying to pull up this page for our.
That's a good card for sure.
It just if fits whatever this deck is trying to do. It fits.
Yes, Shard Mage's Rescue. Flash, enchant creature you control. As long as the Shard Mage's Rescue entered this turn, enchanted creature has hexproof. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Yeah, awesome tech as well. Again, another uncommon from Duskborn. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So deck I played against though yesterday that was running the Scavenger was also running all of the kind of enchantments that come down and make you discard. So Hopeless Nightmare, Bandit's Talent.
Yeah, Bandit's Talent is a big problem.
Yes.
The biggest problem with Bandit's Talent is when it enters for the 2 mana, you have to discard 2 cards unless it's a non-land. And like if they drop it a little late in game, there's a good chance you have 3 cards in hand. 2 of them are like good things, one's a land, and you got to get rid of 2. So as well as being super annoying, it then will be what kills you. Good card. And an uncommon. I thought this was a rare. It's an uncommon.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Wow.
All right. Anything else that you saw yesterday, Mike, that you're trying to touch on?
No. So John had said that the biggest deck meta there was actually Golgari, and that is what I played against game 1. It's kind of right up Joel's alley. So honestly, Joel, there was the first. I'm sure that they had the schisms in there, but I didn't get to see it. Glissa came out right away, and then they dropped a Thrund. A Thrund? Yeah, the 5/5 that has indestructible on your turn and can't be targeted by non-green spells. So that's a way to get around the that 2 mana take away hexproof thing. Because doesn't matter whether it has hexproof or not. It can't be targeted by non-green spells. And that immediately stomped through. I was trying to build up a board to block it, and he cast Gix's command. Gix's command, which pumped his up to a 7/7 lifelinker and board wiped my side of the board with the destroy all 2 or less. It was very powerful. It seems like definitely up your alley. The next deck I played was against Kaido, which was also up your alley. So it was like Ninjas, the Curiosity. That was John's deck. I played against John. And then for my last one, it was a Goblins deck, which was really cool. I just want to call out that Agatha's Soul Cauldron says that when you tap it, you exile a creature on your board, and then all creatures with 1/1 counters have that ability. So check this out. He had Krenko out, and I went to go target to get rid of the Krenko. He tapped the Soul Cauldron, got rid of Krenko, and all of his goblins with 1/1 counters on them became Krenkos also. And then he tapped them all to make a whole bunch of goblins, which was the coolest thing. I didn't realize that that's how the Cauldron works. That was a cool deck. But
nice. It's funny that you guys are bringing these up because, you know me, I love to look at the metagame on MTG Goldfish, and you guys mentioned 3 of the 5 top decks currently. So looks like the shop.
What else are there?
Top 5/1. Jeskai Convoke is number 5. The Esper Bounce deck that Troy just mentioned is number 4. Gruul Prowess at number 3. But I think it's like mostly red, and it's Snakeskin Veil and a red shell. Golgari Midrange still at number 2, and which has been for months. And Dimir Midrange at number 1, which is what John was playing.
Really? That's the number 1. Cool. Yeah, it was
significantly cool. Number 1, by the way. 19% of the meta share, where the number 2 is 9%. So it's literally double the representation. Everyone's running Dimir.
Wow, interesting. The meta seemed like it. I mean, everyone was there to play, and there were some jank decks too, which was cool. Me being one of them, but it was out there. It was a nice spread. It was good standard.
Did you get any W's with the Skies?
I did. I got one win, 2 losses. My losses were I think my biggest problem is before I walked into there, I stacked my deck by 4 creatures, all the lands at the bottom. And then when I got in there, I don't think I shuffled enough because I found myself just entering with repeat cards. Like when I pulled my lands, it was 3 sulfurous springs. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe I didn't shuffle. So I feel like I kind of got fucked with my shuffle because I hadn't. I couldn't get lands in one game. I couldn't get any creatures in another game. It was a little off. However, I've been playing my deck on Arena in best of 3, and I'm definitely holding up. So I feel very confident in my deck. I think yesterday just wasn't a good showing. And I think, Troy, you could attest to that, where I didn't feel that lucky. My card draws were not there yesterday.
Yeah. That's how it goes, right? I mean, my first match, my draws were sweet. John's draws were shit. And then that was kind of my especially match 3 for me, I would say. It was kind of where I ended up. I had mentioned to you that I was running the Unstoppable Slasher, and I took one out because I was running 2 of them, and I took one out because it just wasn't really doing what I wanted it, needed my deck to be doing against, what I was playing against. And then that still ended up being what I drew. So I was kind of like, maybe I should have taken that second one out too. But regardless, you said it as we were walking out, you kind of think, oh, maybe the one will be all right. And then that's the thing that you end up getting. Out of all the things that I could have drawn, that would have been, I probably needed my Bloodthirsty Conqueror at that point or something, or, whatever.
Man, you always need a Bloodthirsty Conqueror,
So, tell me what you guys think about, because I definitely have experienced what you were just saying, Mike, about, you kind of, overlook, getting started at the beginning of an event or even a commander game or something. You overlook how well you've shuffled. So, a lot of times once I'm done building my deck, I'll go through, I'll look through, and I make sure I break up any of those, chunks of lands, chunks of creatures and stuff like that, really kind of randomize things. And then I shuffle a bunch, you know what I mean? So that it's not, I didn't stack my deck.
Don't say that on Reddit. You'll get fucking crucified.
But, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to put a stack of 25 lands right, at the beginning half of your deck, and then put, your stack of 30 creatures on the other half, and then just shuffle.
I agree with you, but the argument that I've seen, and this is obviously from Reddit, which is a bunch of butthurt babies, but is that if you're shuffling sufficiently, regardless, it'll be randomized. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna shuffle, like
but if you're shuffling, if you're shuffling efficiently, then it doesn't matter how you could stack it. And then if you shuffle, then it doesn't change it anyway.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right.
It's just funny how people will still say something.
The other half of that is that, in the legal rules of the tournaments, I believe you're always supposed to offer that your deck could be shuffled by your opponent.
Yes.
So I think as long as you're not objecting to that as well, that's kind of your fail safe to,
I am pro
ensure
breaking the shit up and then shuffling.
Putting your entire land base on one half of the deck and then putting your entire spells half on the other deck, I feel like is only a surefire way to find that you're gonna have chunks of 10 lands or something that you have difficulty breaking up within the by just shuffling.
Let me just say, I wish I did split up my cards and then shuffle yesterday. So I feel like it. I feel like that's totally fine.
The other, what? The other
I gotta get good.
The other technique that you see people doing as well is the
pile shuffle.
The pile, right? Yes, kind of randomizing it by placing cards down into maybe 5 different piles randomly, right?
I don't know if that's a legal way to shuffle, actually.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like if you can count the piles, you can also kind of stack it that way too.
Yeah,
right. At the end of the day, just shuffle, and then when you offer it to your opponent, just cut the deck. And I typically don't cut, but just cut the deck. Just fucking cut the deck.
I've found it seems to be the etiquette at the shop for everybody to cut everybody's deck.
It's like recommended. Like just do the cut. Just cut.
Yeah,
my favorite is the one card cut.
There you go.
Yeah. Do a 7 card cut. Take them 7 off.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say any form of illegal shuffling, if it's happening before the start of the tournament and then at the start of the tournament, you're doing a decent amount of shuffling that your opponent is satisfied with.
Yeah. That's why I nick the corner of all my land cards. That when I'm shuffling, I know it's
hell yeah, brother.
Get them.
Just kidding, guys. But no, so the biggest thing that I got away from yesterday's standard is I had more fun playing Paper Standard in a competitive setting that I have in a long time. It made me yearn for the days of the Friday Night Standard. It was just great being in the shop, hearing everyone talk about what they were trying, what was going on. It was real. It was real. I loved it. I want to do a lot more Paper Magic. We can't do it every week, but I would love to do it at least once a month. And Joel, it'd be great if you could make it. If you did, just we're playing theory, no pressure or anything. What would you want to bring? Would you build a deck? We have a Boros deck you could run. Like, what would your goal be if you were to go play Standard?
I guess I'd build like this Golgari list, since that's kind of it's the most expensive part of it is Shieldreds, which I have one of. So
I have two you could borrow for it. So
yeah, so this list is 3. That seems like the most in line with like what I would normally run.
Yeah.
Probably that actually, yeah, because it seems like it puts up decent results, and I have most of it already.
Yeah, because we can definitely pull cards to get you that deck up and running for the next time we go. Just so one, we're bringing the Standard to the shop, so we will make sure it's firing. And 2, just to get them reps in, and you can win packs. I love cracking packs.
You can win packs.
It really is just super fun, though. Too, I think, like you said, Mike, to hear everybody talking about, what they're running, what the metagame is. That's kind of like the fun part about it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody dipping their toe into the Standard pool and kind of, experimenting, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, are you seeing everything that you see is custom, right? Like, even though there's the metagame and there's the top tier decks and everything like that. That's what's, also fun about playing the Standard format versus the more cracked formats already. Is that everybody's kind of trying something a little bit different.
Yeah. There was pet cards in every deck, no matter what the build was. People were trying that little flair, that personal identity in it. So
exactly.
And that's what matters. It's that little detail in it all.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gushing about it. I had a blast yesterday. I can't wait to go back and do it again. That really was cool. So we're back, baby. Standard is here.
So did you guys end up doing Spell Table last night?
Yes, we did.
Nice.
Spell Table is a great thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was super easy to set up. UI was great.
So tell me about it. What decks did you guys play? What did you guys see? Who won?
I played my vampire deck. Mike was on Jolly Balloon Man. We posted the chat as we posted the group as upgraded precons, like fun casual build, 6 to 7 power level.
Nice.
Because I was just the vampires is just the Ixalan vampires with some upgrades.
Nice.
And then we had the Aminatu deck show up, and the Zinnia or the bird.
Yeah, Offspring Mama. Yeah.
And it was a fun game. It was a good time. Just thinking like technically, like there's definitely some decks that I wouldn't play in Spell Table just because of like the mechanics of not being able to touch other people's cards, and you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't do like theft decks probably on Spell Table and shit like that. But just for getting a game in, it felt good.
Yeah.
Are you running an Amalia in that Vampires deck, Joel?
I don't think so, actually.
Does it have? Does it have the life gain synergies?
Not quite.
Yeah.
It's more like
you had a lot of 1/1 life linkers out, so like
that was just because of the Sorin, though.
That's true.
Yeah,
I would say it's more aristocracy in the sense of
okay,
Dusk Legion Zealot and Blood Artist and shit like that.
Right.
And the demons.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm only running the one Amalia that you gave me, actually, Joel. And I only saw it in my third match yesterday, but it's so great actually when that one comes out. My opponent really wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting the explorers to happen. I had an authority of console out, so every time he was dropping a creature, I was exploring. Right.
Which makes the map token, right? That's
no, it's
it's just exploring. Okay.
It's surveil. Right, you're like surveilling from the top, basically. Or if it's a land card, it goes to hand. If it's a non-land card, you surveil it essentially. And
okay,
then
so it's the map token ability, but without the token.
Okay. Right. And Amalia gets the +1 if it's a non-land card. And then she says, if you get her to 20 power, destroy all other creatures. Definitely not seeing that happen. I think that's too slow to go off in the meta at the shop even, but just the value of the Explorer every time you're gaining life. But so yeah, how else did the Commander games go? Huh?
Yeah. So I it's funny. So he had put up the title of 6 or 7 casual slightly upgraded precon. I picked my old Becca, and we drew our hands, and I'm looking at my hand, and I was like, I can't play this. This is way too strong of a start. I'm not slightly upgraded precon here. Yeah. So I had to immediately, I just put the whole deck away, and that's why I went to Jolly Balloon Man. Which was kind of funny, where I think that's important to just know right off the bat, because sometimes you look at that hand, you're like, nice, here we go. I'm going to fucking go off.
Gross,
but at the expense of these people who sat down at this table and met me on a trust that, hey, we're here, just have a good time. And it's funny because the Amanatu player ended up kind of going off a little bit, but it was all precon stuff. So you can't, it's precon. You can't complain about it. It was in the precon. But the one thing that happened to me, just a small notice, is to the hindrances of 1, playing with absolute strangers, and 2, the setting was I had made a copy of one of my creatures with Balloon Man, and to the 2 opponents I said, okay, and I'm going to swing the 2 of them at you. I didn't directly say that the 1/1 flyer was going to you and the 3/2 real creature was going over there. But in my head, the person who had no blocker was going to get the real creature. The 1/1 flyer was going to the person who had 3 creatures on the ground. And upon declaring the attacks, but not deciphering, the guy with the 3 creatures, well, I'm going to block the 3/2. And now we're past the point of declaring attacks. And I didn't want to try to walk back and be like, well, no, actually the 3/2 is going to go to the person without blockers, because everyone's already trying to decipher. So that was the thing where I ate that one, and I would have been able to do a lot more damage if that hadn't happened. But I was not going to start trying to say, well, actually, this one was coming at the other person, not you, after blocks are being declared. So just moving forwards, when you're playing spell table with people, make sure for each creature, everybody knows directly who's coming to what, because I got a little fucked on that one.
Yeah.
You got to be tight on the triggers on spell table.
Yeah.
You don't know these people to be like, oh, I should have drawn 3 cards.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that speaks to how it's going at the shop too, because I would say in general, if you miss a trigger, it's basically up to your opponent whether or not, you're going to still get that trigger. I mean, if it's a May, or, something like I had missed a Phyrexian Arena trigger and I passed my turn, and then what's the one dude's name? Who's a judge at the shop? Mike, who's got
Tyler?
the shaved head. No, not Tyler.
Shaved head kid. I don't know his name, unfortunately.
We should. My bad, man.
I know. Yeah.
He's listening.
Well.
He's pissed.
Yeah.
He's listening. I wish.
But he had said that I was playing against James that game, and he had said that it would be up to him, to whether or not I would get that trigger. So, but again, I think how are you gonna, for me as the player who missed the trigger, am I gonna be pissed about like if they say no. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. You gotta
I
take
missed
that
it.
one.
Right.
Yeah. Even like I'm a huge proponent of if you're swinging at me and I have a creature with death touch, or like if it's clear that like you're swinging a 1/1 at me just to swing and I have like a 4/4, but it's a token that's a dice. Like I'll always before like he changes be like, hey, just so you know, I
Right.
have this. If you
Right.
just before you to confirm like we haven't left this yet. I don't want you to lose this and have a feel bad because if I'm going to win this, I'm going to win this right. I got this blocker.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who will not let you know and happily just eat that 1/1, so
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if you've had the opportunity to read the card, you really kind of should, have that
especially
awareness.
if there's a prize pool.
Right. That happened yesterday as well, where I was swinging a deep cavern bats and opponent had the Oculus, and I didn't realize it had flying because that card has a lot of text on it. And, but they let me say, okay, this has flying. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, knowing that I wouldn't have done this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Good time. So,
Yes.
did you guys only do the one game on Spell Playbook?
Yeah, just got our feet wet.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, get that taste. But like it's great for like if we build these weird decks, it's a great thing to be like, hey, let's sign on, get 3 games, test out our new decks before we go to our commander night. Because when we meet up, that's a special event and we want our decks to shine. So like Spell Table is a great way to just sign on and be like, even if I get stomped today, I get to test out my deck, see what it's doing. So that's where it's going to come in handy for me. Like those days where I just built a new deck, I can't wait 2 weeks to play it. Meet me on. Let's do this.
For sure.
Yeah, and please, guys, whenever you have any aching to play, invite me. I will throw the dinner off the table and I will set it up. Scout's honor. But yeah, no, it was fun, and I'm excited to maybe try putting like a more powerful deck. Let's play something a little more powerful and try to fuck
7 to
around.
8.
Yeah, and that way you get quicker games in. Get a few in, see how shit goes off. And also get idea from other cards too. Like you get to see some cards that you've never seen doing this. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah. Where is Frogs at power wise? Did I ask that already?
Frogs is a 7. Everything's a 7. But no, yeah. Frogs is a 7 because like there's no tutors. I have one worldly tutor, but it's to like go get the frog that lets you draw or whatever. So like if you're tutoring for a frog, it's okay. I can't see it being anything more. It wins with stomp effects. So, and it doesn't even have a crater hoof. So like biometric haze or what is it?
Got a fucking crater hoof in there.
No, because like we said, if I painted as a huge tadpole or something like that, I would. But
it already looks froggish.
It's a hairy frog. So I don't know. We'll see. I like I said, right now it's performing well enough to where I can call it a meme deck, but it'll also win. So I like where it's at. What was everyone's favorite deck of the year? Like, what was your the bet your built played? Because maybe you built it in 2023, but like, what deck shines as your 2024 employee of the month?
Oh God, that's tough.
Yeah, right. Hit you with the hard one. So I'll go first while you guys think about it. Is I would say mine was Krark. I think that came out of nowhere. Yeah. I think that gave me the most fun. I had the most explosive plays. I think in terms of like what brought excitement and smiles to my dead little heart was Krark.
I guess I would go Ariette. Right, because it was a little, it's a little bit more. The Esper is a little bit out of my typical zone, and I think that a little bit of spice is just a little bit more exciting. Kind of. I got my Squirrels Abzan deck, which is just updated. I mean, that's really something that was built in 2023. I would say, initially with the Hobbits and everything, but that's my comfort zone. right?
Yeah. That's your lasagna, your bowl of chili with some cornbread.
Comfort food.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good name for that deck, actually.
Comfort food.
Gonna have to put that on my deck box. Right?
Yes, that's great.
I would say my rookie of the year deck for me is Mr. House. Just because it's a fun dice rolly shenanigans deck. It's not like my most powerful, but I feel comfortable playing with it at all sorts of power levels because it can go off. So it's nice having like a non-traditional. It's running 6-sided die as a removal because you roll a fucking dice. Like that is what it is.
It's running the Cosmic Pup too, which I absolutely
it
love that it is.
So yeah, that's fun just for that reason. And then I would say my veteran lifetime achievement award is Aragorn. I love the Monarch human tribal. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I'll ever break that deck up.
Ooh, so okay. I just right now it beeped like right before we signed on. I printed a little crown figurine on Liam's 3D printer, and I'm gonna paint it and make it look beautiful. And you're gonna have a little Monarch token to hand around. So yeah, like I love that little 3D printer.
I know we mentioned it last week, but fucking the Fallout decks, because it was hard for me not to mention Caesar or Mothman. Both are awesome decks that I built this year that are a lot of fun. Even Science, I still have the Science deck, which is gonna get juiced with Aether Drift. I feel like Fallout was just like way too awesome. Beyond just me liking the IP, I just felt like the cards were a lot of fun.
Yeah, Kate the Cage Brawler is one of my favorite decks ever. Honestly, that's when everywhere I go to play Magic, I bring an emergency commander deck just in case it breaks out, and I'm part of it. So I brought Kate the Cage Brawler as my one deck to play. I love it so much. Junk is getting broken up. I'm going to play it one more time because it's not doing it. It's too much. It's too much for me. So I'm breaking it up, but I will always have Kate the Cage Brawler. That's a good one. Fallout's great.
Let's talk about Aether Drift for a minute here. Right?
All right.
Have you guys seen these spoilers already? I mean, there's only really 3 cards out. It looks like on. I'm
gonna pull them the fuck up right now.
Yeah.
I like that they have. Go ahead, read them.
No. Oh, I want to hear what you like.
I was going to say I love, and we had called it back when it first got spoiled, that the Gear Hulks are coming back.
Yes,
that's going to be
fan.
fun.
Yeah. That's
Bright Glass is awesome.
Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Yep.
Awesome card.
So it's an artifact creature, Selesnya, first strike, trample. When this creature enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
I'm just gonna grab my Soul Ring
nice.
and Mother of Runes.
Nice. Yeah, not bad.
I'm gonna grab my Millennium Calendar. That's 1 mana. Boom.
Nice.
Can you alter that to be like Yu-Gi-Oh, please?
What's that? The Millennium Calendar?
Yeah.
Or, how is that Yu-Gi-Oh?
Because all the Yu-Gi-Oh special items are the Millennium Puzzle Box, the Millennium Eye.
Oh, really?
That was
I
like all the items.
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh. That is like the one card game I never got in. Oh, okay. I didn't watch it either.
Oh,
I watched Digimon for a little bit,
not
though.
Not a 90s kid at all.
Damn it, I know. I sucked at TV. I always sucked at TV. What are you gonna do? Still trying to pull this.
Should we talk about these other 2 spoiled cards here or what?
Yeah, hit them.
All right, so we got Duretti, Rocketeer Engineer, 4 in a red, legendary creature, Goblin Artificer. Duretti's power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Whenever Duretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield. Does this do anything for anybody or what?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say if this is better. I'm thinking from a commander perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If this is better than the other Duretti Planeswalker.
Okay.
But it is pretty nice to ditch some like Blightsteel with like Thrill of Possibilities early, and then play this and then sacrifice a treasure and put out Blightsteel.
Really, you got to go right to Blightsteel. That's right where your mind goes, is to Blightsteel.
Yes.
God damn. I thought you were changing.
No. No.
See, I'm looking at
put in a graveyard. Never mind, that wouldn't work.
Oh, thank God.
Worm Coil Engine. Then let's bring it down. Let's tone
I
it down.
like Worm Coil. Okay, there we go. All right, so like I'm thinking Chamil. That's the first thing I'd want to try to like cheat out was a Chamil. So I look at this and honestly, I might I am breaking up Massacre Girl, but I could just make it Duretti.
Your fake ass artifact deck.
I know now it could be a real artifact deck.
Yeah, like actually, that's great.
Yeah, because I mean, this is a great way of just kind of doing what Massacre Girl is doing, but with more of an artifact theme. So that then I can run. What's that red X spell that ended up getting really expensive from Aether Revolt? I think it was from Aether Revolt. See, this is an impossible thing. No, we're not going to remember this one, but it was like you target a whole bunch of artifacts and they get shuffled in. And you bring out other artifacts, and it was like this like weird
something
Ingenuity
Ingenuity.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down. Because it was such a trash card, and I loved it, and I played it, and then one day it was expensive. It's getting reprinted too, but yeah, so stuff like that where like now I can incorporate it into Duretti in a more
Indomitable Creativity.
Boom. There it
That's
is.
what it is.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's
then
$40.
that goes into Duretti. It's no joke. It's a wild card. I think Legacy or some like vintage format is playing
Uses it. Yeah, maybe even Pioneer.
Who knows? Probably.
So, what do you guys think about this set? The aesthetic of it.
Well, real quick, just side note. Well, Wacky Racers is my initial answer, but
right.
I am excited that the plane of Muraganda is going to be featured, because I'm hoping that leads to a sub theme of. I mean, Muraganda has only really been mentioned in the Petroglyphs card, which is, creatures without abilities get +2/+2. And maybe there was something from, maybe there's a battle actually as well that mentions it, but we haven't really seen the plane before. So I think it would be cool to have a creatures without abilities matter sub theme. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's to juxtapose like all the artifacts and like vehicles and shit. Just like, here's a 3 green mana 4/5 that just will get stronger. So that
vanilla.
I'm excited to see if they do. Yeah, vanilla is fucked.
Vanilla's all right.
I can't wait to see that. So that's my side note. But Wacky Racers.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Does this appeal to you though? Like, does the aesthetic appeal to you?
No.
No, right?
Not at all.
No, nobody's into it. This, I would say, even less than the Thunder Junction.
Yeah, I would say so. Thunder Junction, I was like maybe, and I still was like no. But this is like super duper no. But that's why I'm hopeful about the Muraganda, because maybe there'll be some vanilla creatures.
I think they're reprinting Smuggler's Copter into Standard. I think Smuggler's Copter's coming in. Would you play it? Are you playing Smugglers?
Oh, you have to. It's Smuggler's Copter. It's amazing. Space set though in the future seems cool, so I'm just gonna hold out hope for the space set.
How about
actually 2025 is stacked.
Final Fantasy.
Hyped.
Nope.
It's gonna be standard legal.
Hyped.
Nope.
No, not into it, Mike? No.
As a lifelong JRPG lover who was introduced to the genre by Final Fantasy and I've played most of them, I am extremely excited about it.
I'm there with you. 7 definitely was like iconic for me growing up, and then also was a big fan of 9. in particular? I know you liked 9 a little bit when you were younger, Mike, right?
7, 9, and 10 changed my life. I played all three of them till like my eyes bled. I 100%ed 10. I 100%ed all of the crests and sigils. I think I even said this on the podcast where like there was the one where in order to get the I think it was the sigil for Lulu, you had to dodge 200 consecutive lightning strikes in the plains.
Yep.
And I did it. I sat there and did it. So
you're not excited for your Lulu legendary creature?
Right.
No.
Because you know she's gonna be in there. What? Your Orin, dude? Your Orzhov Orin card, dude?
Yeah, I just my happy. I'm sure there'll be that day. I need to see the cards. I'm afraid that it's not going to be what I want. I'm not going to be excited with it, and then something that really it's a hard pillar to my childhood is going to kind of be the first flub of the.
They haven't missed yet.
That's what's making me so nervous. Eventually, they're gonna. Bro, I'm just so afraid that it coming into standard, there's going to be a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and it's going to be a problem. And Lulu's going to be called Boo Boo because everyone fucking hates it. Like I don't know. I'm apprehensive. Just show me the cards, and I'll feel better. Yeah, but as for Aether Revolt, Aether Drift, it's going to be hard to sell me on this one.
Yeah.
Unless the Gear Hulks are bangers, give me I don't know, race cards. Give me a different type of card, and I'll be totally sidetracked.
Hispanic.
The flavor of Aether Drift is definitely not for me, but that's why I'm excited for like Final Fantasy. I'm excited for the Gashel Greens, right, and the Chocobos and stuff like that. What are they going to do with
those Cactuar, dude? Cactuar, fucking green.
Right, Cactuars, the Moogles, all that,
All right.
But actually,
Buster Sword, Sephiroth.
Yeah, Buster Sword. I can't wait to equip that to Captain America.
Come on. That's going to be
sick.
Yeah.
But before that, even fucking something that we haven't really talked about because fuck Aether Drift, Return to Tarkir is in April. So that's not that far away. I'm actually like low key extremely hyped for that. That's gonna be great. I mean, it better be great.
Give me an Ugin, baby. Ew, no,
it's already been spoiled.
Oh, is there?
There will be an Ugin, yeah. Not the card itself, just the frame.
Damn, so that means that you're gonna run Ugin.
And no, but it might be one of those special guests things where it's like not in the set, but you can get them from packs. It's like the Ghost Fire flame treatment or something. It's going to be that special treatment for the set, but
shit. All right.
Ugin in some form will be around. But
well, my first commander was a Tarka. He was my very first commander. So this will harken back to some good days of Magic for me. I'm looking forward to it.
And I made a promise that if they print a functional Siege Rhino, like sibling or brother or child, I will play standard.
All right, let me message Mark Rosewater real quick. Tell him not to fuck this up. You fucking better. No, that would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great. And I think they know they have to do that. They know they're gonna give it to you.
Edge of Eternities looks cool. Outer Space set. Some of the art they've released is pretty dope looking, so it's gonna be really unique.
I want a fucking what would you even call it? Like a Doom Ray, like some sort of cannon that'll blow up worlds. I want a card that does that,
like a Death Star type thing.
Yeah. Please. Oh, I altered the Death Star. Joey has the command sphere as the Death Star, right? Joey has that. I'm pretty sure Joey has that one.
The one I'm the most hesitant about actually is Marvel Spider-Man. Because I love Spider-Man. He was always one of my favorite superheroes. But it just seems like that's a lot for like one set to be focused on just Spider-Man. I know that doing like all of Marvel would also be like a fucking lot, but it just seems like, damn, I don't want like all that Spider-Man. That seems like too much.
Maybe it's gonna be like a smaller set. You know, because like they're releasing a lot of sets into standard.
It's
Maybe
a full
they're,
standard set.
but like how full? Like maybe they're just gonna do it like 150 cards instead of 250
I
or
don't
something
think
like that. You know?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Shit. Okay.
I don't think they're ever gonna do another Assassin's Creed / whatchamacallit, Aftermath type set. I think it's a full ass set. And not to mention we have the unannounced Universes Beyond, which I find kind of crazy that we haven't heard about what it is yet since coming out this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally they announce that stuff at like some MagicCon. So wherever the next MagicCon is, I'm sure we'll hear about it there.
So there's an unannounced Universes Beyond set coming out as well.
Yeah, that's the 6th release.
Okay. Yeah.
So we don't know what the fuck that's going to be.
No, that's interesting. And they had said that all Universes Beyonds are going to be standard legal going
Yes, sir.
forward. So
you're going to have your Spider-Man fighting your Cloud, fighting your Shieldreds.
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I was about to say, like, I feel like out of all of us, at least in Commander, I'm the one that plays the most Universes Beyond cards, I would say.
Yeah,
And,
I would agree.
I don't think anybody, I mean, at least me personally, as a player, I haven't ever felt like weird about, like, I love my Captain Marvel deck. I think America deck. I think it's fun to equip like a fucking Excalibur and throw it at people.
Right.
I don't think that's ever affected my enjoyment. Because again, like there's some cool like Transformers cards, but I don't love the Transformers, so like I'm not going to use them. So I've never personally felt a problem with it. And then you guys sitting on the other side of the table, has that ever like taken you out of the game to see?
No, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Mothman, like Kate the Cage Roller doesn't feel like, oh, she can't exist in Magic. I feel weird that she's, you know,
right.
Kate's cruel as fuck. She resonates thing. So I'm totally
Tyranids.
okay for all of it. Yeah, Tyranids. The Doctor Who stuff is probably the weirdest for me, even more than the Transformers. Just because like some of them, there's that one card where it's like this like jolly cheeked man with a little beanie hat just staring up. Like it does not look Magic the Gathering at all. Doesn't bother me in the least. Honestly, if anything, I'm trying to find these weird cards homes in my decks.
Yeah.
Everyone
slept on Doctor Who. I said it the whole time.
Right.
Yeah,
Doctor Who
you were
had
calling
some
that.
Fucking cool ass cards, and I've picked
great
up a
mechanics.
Bunch of them. Yeah, I picked up a bunch of them to run. So everyone should take a second look at that set because there's some cool shit.
Yeah.
There.
I 100% I will. I have been noticing a lot of cards from them, so that's for sure. Yeah, I like it.
And then I guess the only other Commander thing for me is that I debuted 20 Ways to Win with upgrades. Cut it down to, first of all, 20 Ways to Win is a bit disingenuous considering that they're considering winning with Commander damage, winning with regular damage, and milling people, like having them draw with an empty library to be win cons. Which is like, fuck you. Like, no, it's not.
There's some decks where that's literally the only win con is with commander damage. So, I mean...
No, I understand. But if the theme of the deck is cards that say you win the game, like, I would want... There were more cards that say you win the game that they get put... You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But anyway, I cut some of them out because some of them are, like, ridiculous to even consider. Like, Biovisionary and Liliana's Contract. Because the only way to get those to work were like using Rite of Replication essentially, or Mesquid Nexus.
Right.
So it actually was it worked, you know, pretty well. It's definitely a casual fun kind of deck because it doesn't do shit. But I almost won with Maze's End. It came down to one more turn. I would have been able to get that off. Feldar Sovereign is always a threat. I almost feel like the cheesy wins like Second Sunrise, not Second Sunrise.
Approach to the Second Sun, yeah.
Like I feel like while that card is a cheeseball city, at the same time I feel like it's justifiable in that deck because it's so like it's unsynergistic. It's just a hodgepodge of random bullshit that like wow they managed to like live long enough to cast this shit twice, so they deserve it kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like you cast that, take an extra turn, cast your
Draw
X spell
7.
draw, and then go for it. Yeah,
Free
No,
cast. No,
for
it's
sure.
literally just like I pray that I have the mana to cast it, and then plus every land is a gate. It's all untapped. It's all tapped. I mean, it's slow,
Yeah.
but it was a good time. It'll be fun to play against when we do like our pre-con games and when we're introducing new players.
Do you have Spelunking in there? That way lands come in untapped.
No, I bought a Amulet of Vigor though, and I threw that in there.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's cool. Did you get the win with that one?
No.
Okay,
But I was close.
yeah. Hey, it did its thing. That's cool. Well, shit. Listen, I'm not doing anything today, so if anyone wants to meet for a spell table, it's still set up on my kitchen table. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I don't know. What
Troy, how are we
going
gonna get you on here?
I guess Mike's gonna have to build me the thing.
I
Put
will
my desk
do
out
it.
here.
I got so much extra scrap in the garage. I could easily build you one. So
I mean, I got the table set up out here now. So
cool.
That's
How did
pretty
it
good,
work
yeah.
for you, Joel? How was the setup for it? Was it sturdy enough? I mean, it's not the sturdiest
was
thing
great.
because it's just held by 2 bolts. But
The only thing I needed to adjust was that I didn't realize at first that on your camera, it'll ask you like, oh, what camera do you want to use? But it also let you fuck with the aspect ratio, which I
Yeah.
didn't notice at first. So because originally it was cutting off the sides and getting too much vertical, but then once I switched it to widescreen, which it was like, hey, this might fuck something up. It didn't, and it was fine. So it was all good.
I didn't have to change mine to widescreen. Mine just auto does it. Maybe it's phone type or something. But
Yeah.
all right, cool.
But yeah, so
Cool, good.
I think you saw everything looks pretty good. In fact, I would
Yeah.
say our boards looked much nicer than our opponents' boards.
That happened with the last game I played too. My first time trying it, both of my opponents, one of them was in a dark room, like they had no lights on, so like you saw shadows of cards, but still the card reader was picking it up. So yeah, we definitely we had a nice clear board state, and
Nice.
it was very effective. Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, Troy, I'll build you one too. Then that's all. I just need to hear go for it, and I'll do it. And
Yeah,
for anyone else out there who needs spell table boards, hit me up. I will build it. It's
There you
there.
go.
So
if you build it, they
I'm
will
not
come.
painting them. Yeah, Joel gets the only painted one. So
Nice.
everything else will be
It's a Christmas
What?
gift.
Yeah, who cares, man?
yeah. Spray paint it.
Not even
Just
shed.
tape the threads and spray paint it. It'll be fine. So yeah.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, I don't have any beer to
Nope.
to find out where the end of this episode is. I drank my tea a while ago. I'm still bright-eyed. I don't know what to do. I guess we just
It's
go
so
on with our
sober.
lives now. Oh my
Yeah,
God, yeah.
damn.
The fuck this?
We'll get back to it as the weather warms up. I'm sure.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it. Yeah,
we'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
we'll see. I'll work my way back into it. But my blood pressure, stroke risks. I don't know. Whatever my doctor was saying.
I might have something like that too. Who knows?
Yeah, my eyes go blurry and I get dizzy sometimes. Whatever.
Whoops.
Anyway.
All right.
All right. Any last calls for Magic? Anything we're looking forward to for the week? Anything we want to say?
Pay the one.
I'm trying to go play the RCQ coming up. Are you gonna be there for it, Mike? Are you gonna come with me?
Yo, I'm here to grind, dog. I'm here to grind.
All right, let's do it. Let's get back out there. I mean, just for fun. Hey, definitely didn't even top 8 yesterday, but just go and have a good time. It was awesome.
I've been playing, Joel. We've been playing Friday Night Magic forever. I have never placed first in a Friday Night Magic.
I don't believe that. You didn't.
Only I did it never at a Friday Night Magic. I did it one time at a store champion because only 8 people showed up and it was just kind of like a forced start. Pre-releases, I will take first place all the time. Pre-releases is my thing, but in terms of Friday Night Magic, I have choked every final. So there it is.
Are you going to go to the pre-release for Aether Drift?
Yes. Yeah, of course. I'll be there. So hopefully you guys come along to that. I know Yeah, no matter how shitty the set is, pre-release is as good as it gets. Playing with new cards is my fucking dreams. That's all I want.
Right.
I just want new cards, figure out how they work, and then build dumb standard decks from them. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I might make that too.
Cool.
See. All right.
I love it. And then when Siege
right.
Rhino comes out, Joel will be joining us.
I'm in
so.
it.
There you go.
Take
All
it
right,
easy.
kids. Yeah.